Hey there, all you freedom lovers. We got another bench video from Liberal Use of Firearms. Today, we usually have a sticker or a decal to put, but unfortunately, it's still in transit with the next order, so that will have to go on next time. But the next one coming is not going to be like this video. Unfortunately, what we have today are the Monstrum Aries V1 and V2 Reflex dot sights. Now, you have different options when you purchase these, especially the version 2. It gives you the option of multiple reticles. I haven't found how to do that. I specifically paid extra and ordered it to get the multiple reticle option, where you get the crosshair, the circle only, the dot only. And I seem to have only gotten the one that does the circle dot crosshair. The version 1 is showing on the box that it's just a dot reticle, but it actually has the cross, circle, and dot as well. So I don't know what's going on with there. I really like Monstrum, but I had to talk about these. So we're going to start off with version 1. So with version 1, it's a Picatinny rail. This is not a pistol sight. Okay. Comes inside of a bag. You get a quick instructions, one extra screw. I don't understand that. Some notices. It says the minimum scope zero distance is 25 yards. I've never seen that before on a sight. And you get a cleaning cloth. Often enough, you'll get a tool with these to adjust the turrets and to at least affix it to your rail. Now, I'm going to cut in a few shots of why this is so terrible. I know you're not going to be able to see it too much, but the actual sight on this is abysmal. It has 11 different settings for light illumination, and from about 1 to 3, it is entirely too dim to see anything. From about 3 to 5, you could see it in a darker area where it's kind of all right. But anything above 5 or 6, you get this crazy box that the illuminator, I guess, bleeds around the reticle itself. And you'll see it in the cut videos that I'm going to put in. But making this entirely useless unless you're in a somewhat dim light setting. This, you can see, is on the lowest setting. It's almost unusable. You move up a little bit and you start getting this red box around it. This is sort of what I'm talking about. I know this is through the camera lens, but it is exactly as bad as you can see it right now in real life. I couldn't believe it. Trying to mark on something darker like a target in a well-lit area makes this almost useless. That fuzziness is common in the brighter lights, and this light bleed is what you see with both versions, but there's no way to get rid of it. I cleaned it. I made sure that there was no debris or anything blocking it. There was no tape on it. There was nothing that was supposed to be removed, like a clear sticker or anything like that. And I made sure to try and get the best possible shots. But this is pretty much what you see with the naked eye when you're using this sight on an AR platform or any other type of platform with a Picatinny rail. It's unbelievable. Now, we're going to move on to version 2. And the version 2, again, was supposed to have the ability to change from a dot to the crosshair to just the circle. I, again, purposefully paid the extra money to get the multi-reticle option. This came in a bag. You have the same exact instructions. You have the same exact papers. The same exact one screw, just in a smaller bag. And the same exact cleaning cloth. To be completely honest with you, this is exactly the same thing in every way, shape, and form, except for where you adjust the brightnesses. Everything from 1 to 3, you can't see at all. Everything from about 3 to 5 or 6 is somewhat usable in a dim light setting, but everything 6 and above gets this light bleed that creates a box and a phantom dot way at the bottom of the sight. I know you can't see it here. Again, I'm going to cut in some footage of the dot on the different settings. As you can see here, it's exactly the same. The illumination is unusable when you are at the lower settings, and as soon as you get to about 4 or 5, you start getting that box, then you start getting the blurriness. The phantom dot at the bottom that I just mentioned is a little more apparent here, but that box is the most distracting thing that I've noticed. One thing I didn't add in the last cut was these were sighted in at the 25-yard mark with my bore sight tool. So obviously they're not perfect, but you can see that the reticle is somewhat far left or right depending on the version, even though it was set up at one point. That was shown while trying to use it. Now the version 2, when you're on setting 3 to 5, it is usable, as you can see right there. You do have a crisp dot with no bleed, but just 1 or 2 settings above and any type of illumination becomes completely unusable. Now that you've seen that, I don't know what this is for. I mean, even airsoft, this would be useless. Monstrum is an amazing company. I really like the Nitro Plus. Now this says this is a Reflex dot sight as well, but this is one that I use on my Palmetto State Dagger Compact. I absolutely love this sight. This has held 0 since day 1. It has great illumination on every setting. It has the shake awake features. It has the accessible battery at the top here, and it also has the adjustable illumination. This works really well in bright light, and it works really well in dim light. The adjustments have tactical feeling to them. I completely fell in love with the Monstrum company because of this red dot. And I actually bought a prism sight for my AR that I'm building. And we're going to see how that turns out. But I wouldn't sell them short because of the Aries line. These were definitely on the cheaper end. The most expensive option on the version 2 was coming in at about 5 Benjamin Frank or Andrew Jacksons. Sorry about that. Whereas the version 1 came in at between 3 and 4 Andrew Jacksons, if you catch my drift. I can't actually say it because of YouTube. But the Nitro Plus, That was around a Benjamin Franklin and a half, depending on if you find a sale or not. You can get it under a Benjamin Franklin when they're running their open box specials and things like that. I would definitely put the Monstrum in the budget-friendly line of sights, and they have scopes. I don't do any long-distance shooting, so I won't be getting any of their long-distance scopes or anything like that. I tend to keep my magnification between 1 and 3. But they do have options if you want them. Again, they're fairly budget friendly compared to something like a Holosun and things like that. I have a few different pistol, RMR or the RMSC red dots, and I really like the Monstrum over the Crimson Trace, over the Swamp Fox. I really like the Swamp Fox line, but I do think this one has a little bit better on the Swamp Fox. The Swamp Fox has their co-witness here, and it's detachable, where this is on all the time. And as long as you have your co-witness suppressor sights, you can have complete co-witness with this. This Aries line here, they do have what they call co-witness, but I don't see how that is co-witness at all. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're trying to describe as co-witness there. I don't quite get that. But again, the only difference with these is the lettering and where the controls are on them. Again, this is version 1 and this is version 2. I would steer far away from these. They feel well built. They feel, I believe they're aircraft aluminum. Don't quote me on that, but they do feel very nice. Just unfortunately, both of them, exactly, they just have this horrible glow to them. I just kind of had to put it out there. I was really excited to get these, especially for the price. I'm not a huge believer of you always get what you pay for. I'm a believer of sometimes you find a great deal, and I look for those deals. Monstrum is definitely a line that I would say majority of the time is within that deal category. Just unfortunately, the Aries line does not bring it home for them. Thank you all for watching. If you could like, subscribe, maybe send this to a friend that'll help them make a choice, and maybe possibly, not buy these, and maybe point them towards a new red dot for, their compact handgun, something like that. But getting the word out not only helps me, but it can help somebody else. It can let them know that these things are accessible to them too. But in the comments, let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Let me know if you've tried these before. Let me know if you've tried any of the Monstrum products. I'd love to hear what you say. If you have something positive about the Aries, I'd love to hear it. If you have something negative about the Nitro or their other pistol type dot sights, I'd love to hear it. But again, we're liberal use of firearms, and we're here to try different options and let you know how it goes. And we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks again.